Woohoo! I did it. Wow, that was mammoth and mega and amazing and fantastic, and it was all done and completed, and I am home in time for Strictly. And the reason I am home in time for Strictly is because I didn't have to go anywhere. It's just been amazing. So I've just finished running my photo reading workshop, and I ran it from home. So in terms of participants, we actually had somebody who's out in America at the moment, but no passports were required, no travel expenses, no hotel accommodation, no food and subsistence, just participation from home. Yesterday, when we completed the training, people were saying that, you know, and it was nearly 10 hours. We did 2 blocks. Yesterday, so Friday night, we did 4.5 hours. Yesterday, Saturday, we did 4.5 hours, had a break for lunch, did another 4.5 hours. We did exactly the same today. That's a lot of time to be sitting at home at your PC doing a training course. And people said they were feeling relaxed, they were feeling energized after yesterday, having done a day and a half of that, and the same again today. So I'm absolutely delighted. This one, as you know, if you follow me on Facebook and all that kind of stuff, and you follow me on social media, actually it's here because we were talking about it today, you will know that this is one of my favorite words, limitless. So when I got in touch with them, and the reason I'm saying it's a world first is I believe that is the truth. Learning Strategies have live streamed some of their photo reading workshops, but when I contacted them to say what I wanted to do, turns out nobody's done it before. And so what I did, let me show you the back office. What I did is I ran it as a video webinar training. So people were in the video webinar training room. So what you can see on the screen next to me is an example of what they can see. They can look at all the PowerPoint slides. We're going through, there's a chat room. I can deliver handouts into the room. I can, you know, we've had video interludes when we were on a break, because people who are watching it later, they might not need a break when we need a break. So I could put videos into the room as well. Also discovered some cool stuff. So I had to play with everything. And there's also like a whiteboard, so I can bring up the slides and then I can highlight things and draw stuff. So I was just showing them some of my some of the icons that I use for my mind maps. But it has been absolutely amazing. So I've just run the whole training, the whole 2.5-day photo reading workshop from home. And so when I was going through and asking people about this, just their initial feedback, you know, what did they like best, what did they appreciate, somebody said, you know, good opportunity to do the course, photo reading course from home, and it was focused and it was intensive time to commit to learning for themselves. Somebody says one of the things that they liked was the flexibility of participating from their chosen location, and especially as the days have been full. And it was a combination of comprehensive, intensive and fun delivery. So that was really fantastic. And, you know, it was seriously, I already knew it was going to be good, because I've been running teleseminars and webinars for the last 15 years. And that was really, let me tell you where this started. When I first started running teleseminars, as in telephone seminars, I would have to ring a guy and say, I'm running one on Sunday at 7 p.m. and he, from his location, would press a button at that time. And then several weeks later, I would receive a CD-ROM in the post with a copy of the webinar that I would then have to burn onto another disc if I wanted to send it to people. That's how long I've been doing online events. But in terms of this is the first time anyone has run it in this format. But, you know, I thought, you know what, I'm looking at it, I'm going, the technology is now there to support this. It's robust, it's fantastic. Everyone on this one chose to participate in the chat room, but there is the opportunity for people to switch on their microphones. There is the opportunity for people to switch on their webcams. So then we're all in a group setting and we're all in a group environment working together. And I was saying yesterday, as I was thinking about it, because before the training, I was like, okay, I know it's going to work, because I've already run my Practitioner Insider Secrets workshop as 2 half-day modules. And I had somebody take part in that who did the live workshop last year. And she said in her feedback, she said, I thought I was going to miss the interaction. I thought I was going to miss being in the room, but she said it's been fantastic. So I knew it was going to work, but still, until you've actually done it and completed it and done the full 2.5 days, you know, you still have to go, all right, let's see. And I was saying yesterday, I did a Facebook Live yesterday, and I was talking about Sir Bruce Forsyth. And I remember when he announced that he was leaving Strictly Come Dancing, because I know Bruce used to say, you're my favorite. And Bruce actually was one of my favorites. And one of the reasons I really loved Bruce Forsyth, this is a very murky picture of the two of us together, we're out of function. When I went to see Strictly live, Bruce Forsyth, who you would see on the whole show, was the warm-up guy. Now, he was in his 70s at least. So we would be sat in the audience, you know, the set is all being prepared, all the rest of it. Bruce Forsyth comes bounding out like a teenager, doing all the stand-up, doing all the gags. And then what was really beautiful, which again, you don't get to see on the show, he then said, who would like a spin around the floor? And you've got all what we used to call the blue rinse ladies. And I mean that with no offense, because I'm a similar kind of age now to what you would call the blue rinsers. And he would pull people from the audience and he would take them around the dance floor for a spin. It was just magical. And then after all of that, the cameras would roll and there's Bruce presenting. So when Bruce announced that he was going to be retiring from Strictly Come Dancing, I was a bit like, oh, I don't know about this. I don't know about this. And then you watched a couple of episodes. I've never forgotten about Bruce Forsyth. And now, of course, for those of you who aren't familiar with our version of Strictly, which is the forerunner and the blueprint for Dancing with the Stars out in America, he has now passed away. Sadly, he's a fantastic entertainer and had been in the industry for over 50 years, an incredible guy. In terms of his achievements, his accomplishments and his work ethic. But when he announced he was leaving, I was like, I can't imagine Strictly without him. And I still think about Bruce Forsyth. However, I still love Strictly. And the photo reading webinar training was a bit like that. I couldn't imagine not being in the room with people and badgering them and annoying them and checking up on them and all the stuff that happens in the photo reading training. But then having kind of made the adjustment on Friday night, which was the first 4.5-hour module, and coming off of that and just seeing the reaction from people, and then doing all day yesterday and having people say, oh my God, I feel so energized. It was amazing. It was fantastic. I'm so relaxed after nearly 10 hours sitting at their desk doing an intensive training, because it all centers around this is the equivalent of what they did this weekend. Let me just show you. So we photo read 3 books, actually 4 books. So we did a final one tonight as well. So we photo read 4 physical books. We photo read an online book. A couple of people also had books that they were working on online. We did a couple of physical articles. We did an online article together as well. We did a lot. It's intense. It's a lot. And, you know, reading, doing all the activation, doing the photo reading. So people are doing the thing where they're photo reading a whole book, which when you're a beginner takes 5 or 6 minutes. I'm kind of generous. I give them about 7 minutes, but I know they don't really need it. And so the encouragement is then to turn the book upside down and back to front and photo read it the other way. But just imagine 10 hours a day for 10 hours a day for 2 days, 4.5 hours for the first day. Imagine doing that and coming to the end and going, oh my God, I feel so relaxed. I feel so energized. I'm excited. That's quite something. That is amazing. And I've always said, you know, photo reading is right up there. Photo reading, HUNA and NLP, right up there for me as some of the most transformational technologies on the planet. And I've been saying that for the last 18 years, and I'm trained in about 20 different modalities. Don't get me wrong, I love them all because I'd never have done them if I didn't. And those are my standout ones because they just make such a difference in people's lives. And so in the same way I adjusted to Bruce Forsyth not being on Strictly Come Dancing, I've now adjusted to, that was pretty cool. That was freaking awesome. That was amazing. yeah, so just thought I'd share. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who signed up, and for those of you who were able to join me live, and thank you so much for your participation. Thank you for the feedback. I can create a little poll, like a questionnaire, and people type the answers and it works out the percentages for me. And so I was like, oh God, I'll have to ask the question now, how would you rate the webinar experience? So I had excellent, good, okay, stroke, meh, MEH, unsatisfactory, and bad, and everybody went for excellent. So it's like, for you. But yeah, it actually feels really awesome, because my aim with everything I'm doing, and I get a bit of that now, because 99.9% of the coaching and therapy I do is either by telephone or Skype. So open that up about 10 years ago. But for the first 8 years I was in practice, I just saw people one-to-one. And I have so many people saying, oh my God, I'd love to do photo reading. I can't make it. It's too far. Can't make those dates. Wish I could travel. Haven't been able to coordinate coming to the UK. And so it's really fantastic to now have the technology to support being able to offer it as a global service. So really grateful to everyone who signed up. I showed the group a video from Paul Sheely today, who's the creator of photo reading. So that's the core text we were working with. That's Paul Sheely there. He looks, if some of you have met him in person, I think he looks even better in person than the picture on the book. And so I played a video from Paul, and he was talking about the creation of Learning Strategies Corporation in 1981, and then the first iteration of photo reading was in 1985 for IDS American Express. But he closed off that video with thanking those people who were customers and clients, because he said exactly what I'm always saying: without customers, without clients, there's no business. There's nobody to share this stuff with. I can have the best stuff on the planet, but if people aren't coming forward and buying, and if people aren't coming forward and signing up, and if people aren't then going out and talking about their experience and sharing it with others, what am I going to do? I'll just be sat here on my own. So I am truly grateful to everyone, not just those of you who signed up today, everyone who's walked through the photo reading doors since I started teaching classes in March 2002. And thank you hugely to everyone who took a chance this weekend to join me for the global experiment, which worked beautifully. So yeah, I'm kind of stoked, as they say in some of the TV movies. It's so cool. It's so cool. Yeah, and yesterday I was like totally bouncing. Like, we finished at 7:30. I went to bed at 2:30. I was just like, oh my God, that was so amazing. And I've got all these ideas, and then I'm setting up the webinar for the next day, and I'm uploading all the slides, and I'm creating polls and questionnaires and finding videos that I want to upload. Because when we had a break, what I was doing is playing videos in the break. So us in person, we would wander off, and I went to the kitchen, made some tea, went upstairs, put my slippers on, all that sort of stuff. But for people who are maybe catching the replay, then they might not need a break. So there are some video interludes. So I spent some time uploading those, and I was just buzzing. And I'm always, it's not my, people often say, oh my God, when you speak, when you train, don't you get really tired? Are you not really drained? That's not my thing. Used to be. I used to need to sleep 12 to 15 hours a day just to be able to scrape through the day. So I know what that's like. But yesterday was extra buzz, because I was just like, man, it's working. It's working. It's working. It's working. So, and if any of you want any further details about photo reading, if you want to join me at any point, the website is www.tranceformationstm.com. Trance is TRANCE, F for Freddy, ORMATION for November, S for Sierra, TM as in trademark. So www.transformationstm.com, and either /photo reading, or there's a photo reading tab along the top. And then to be honest with you, because this is so new, it's not on my website in terms of the video, and I've done it now, so it's done. So but the video webinar training is not on my website, but you'll find the home study course. I was showing this to the group today, where when I say tapes, I'm not joking. So these are my original tapes. Of course, it's now on CD. So those are my original tapes. You can buy the photo reading CDs from Training with Paul Sheely from my website. I haven't actually got a date yet for the next live photo reading training. I'm just having to think about, how many I want to do next year. the thought of not doing any crossed my mind, but I know because I love teaching photo reading so much, I'm probably not going to reduce it down to 0, but I'll probably reduce the number of them that I run next year. But what I have typically tended to do is at least do one at the end of February, beginning of March, one at the end of May, beginning of June, and then one end of September, early October. So this one I ran the first weekend in October, so that was about 3 weeks ago. But I'm just kind of looking at that. But I'd probably do I'd probably do the March and the February/March one next year, possibly the September/October. We'll see. But yeah, it's kind of awesome. So just thought I'd share. I'm now going to waltz upstairs because I'm home in time for Strictly. Because normally when I finish photo reading, I'm getting home at about 9:30, 10 o'clock once I've packed down the room. If you could see this, if you could see my office now, it's like crazy photo reading land. There are toys and props and coloured pens and brains and tangerines and all sorts of stuff everywhere. So I might just leave the tidying up of that to the morning, but there's nowhere near as much to do as packing down an entire hotel room. So yeah, it was freaking awesome. So, and I know this already in terms of change. I've spent how many years? I became a management consultant and Prince 2 project manager in 2003. I also specialized in change management, working in central and local government and going in when, you know, they're changing, let's say, into smart working, flexible working. So people are no longer tied to their desk. They'll be working from home, working remotely. So getting people au fait with technology, logging in, remote modems, building intranet. So I know all about change management. And as a human being, it still sometimes takes a moment to go, okay. But yeah, having done it, I loved it. Thank you for coming to play. 2.5-day photo reading, online video webinar training, done, dusted, completed, rated excellent. Thank you and good night. Catch you all later. Bye bye.